Welcome to Mental Edge HQ, the place where we transform learning from a chore into a superpower. Want to learn anything quickly and efficiently? Who doesn't, right? Today we're diving into a method close to my heart. It's Jim Kwik's FASTER Method, a proven system to turbocharge your learning. We're talking about unlocking the incredible potential already inside you. Imagine absorbing information like a sponge, recalling it effortlessly, and actually using it to make your mark on the world. That's the power of FASTER. Throughout this video, I'm going to break down each element of FASTER, giving you actionable steps to become a learning machine. If you find this video helpful, hit that like button and subscribe to Mental Edge HQ for more brain-boosting tips and tricks. Let's unlock your ultimate learning potential together. Okay, let's jump right into the FASTER method, and we're starting with a bit of a brain twister. Forget. Now, before you click away thinking this is about forgetting what you're trying to learn, hear me out. This is about hitting the reset button in your mind. You see, we often approach learning with preconceived notions, limiting beliefs, or mental clutter from our day-to-day lives. It's like trying to build a house on a foundation full of cracks. So how do we clear the clutter? Start by forgetting any negative thoughts you have about your learning abilities. That voice whispering, "I'm not good at this," or "this is too hard," silence it. Replace those thoughts with positive affirmations. Tell yourself, "I'm a capable learner and I am excited to absorb this new information." Next, minimize distractions. Our brains are wired to focus on one thing at a time. Multitasking is a myth. Put your phone on silent, close unnecessary tabs on your computer, and find a quiet space where you can truly concentrate. Think of your mind as a muscle. Just like an athlete stretches before a workout, we need to prepare our brains for learning. Take a few deep breaths, close your eyes, and visualize yourself successfully absorbing the information. This step might seem small, but it's incredibly powerful. Remember, learning isn't just about stuffing information into your brain, it's about creating space for new knowledge to take root and flourish. By letting go of limiting beliefs and distractions, you're essentially preparing the soil of your mind for optimal learning. Think about it this way. When you're trying to learn something new, you're essentially creating new neural connections in your brain. But if your mind is cluttered with distractions and negative self-talk, it's like trying to build those connections on a shaky foundation. By taking the time to forget, to clear your mind and focus your attention, you're creating a solid foundation for learning. You're giving your brain the best possible chance to absorb new information and make it stick. So before you dive into that textbook, online course, or new skill, take a moment to clear the mental decks. You'll be amazed by how much more effectively you learn when you start with a clean slate. Alright, we've cleared the mental clutter, now let's get into the action, literally. The second pillar of the FASTER method is ACT, because learning is not a passive activity. It's about active engagement, about being in the game, not just watching from the sidelines. Think about it. When you're fully immersed in an experience, when you're actively participating, you remember it more vividly, right? The same principle applies to learning. When you actively engage with the material, you create neural pathways that are stronger and more durable. So how do we put ACT into action? First and foremost, ditch the passive highlighting. I know it feels like you're doing something, but it's often just an illusion of learning. Instead, take notes by hand. The act of physically writing helps solidify the information in your brain. Next, ask questions. Don't be afraid to raise your hand in class, post a question in the online forum, or even just jot down your queries to revisit later. Asking questions forces you to engage with the material on a deeper level and seek clarification. And here's a powerful tip: teach what you're learning to someone else. When you teach, you're forced to organize the information in a way that makes sense, which reinforces your own understanding. Plus, explaining concepts out loud can often reveal gaps in your knowledge that you can then address. Remember, learning is not a solo sport. Connect with other learners, join study groups, or find a learning buddy. Discussing the material with others can expose you to different perspectives, solidify your understanding, and make the entire process more enjoyable. The key takeaway here is this: be an active participant in your learning journey. Don't just sit back and expect the information to magically seep into your brain. Get your hands dirty, engage with the material, and make it your own. Think about it this way. Imagine you're learning to play a new instrument. You wouldn't expect to become a virtuoso by simply reading a book about music theory, would you? You'd need to pick up the instrument, practice regularly, and experiment with different techniques. The same goes for any type of learning. The more actively you engage with the material, the more deeply you'll understand it and the longer you'll retain it. So, get involved, ask questions, teach others, and make learning an active and engaging experience. Remember, your brain is not a passive vessel to be filled with information. It's a dynamic organ that thrives on challenge and engagement. So, step out of your comfort zone, get your hands dirty, and watch your learning soar to new heights. We've talked about clearing the mental clutter and taking an active approach to learning. Now let's dive into a crucial element that often gets overlooked: your state. This is about recognizing the powerful connection between your mind and body, and how it directly impacts your ability to learn effectively. Think about a time when you were stressed, tired, or simply not in the mood to learn. Did you retain information easily? Probably not. Our emotional and physical states play a significant role in our cognitive functions, including learning and memory. When you're stressed, your body releases cortisol, a hormone that can actually hinder memory formation. On the flip side, when you're in a positive, relaxed state, your brain releases endorphins and dopamine, neurochemicals that boost your mood, focus, and memory. So, how do we optimize our state for learning? First and foremost, prioritize sleep. I know it sounds simple, but sleep deprivation is a surefire way to sabotage your learning efforts. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep each night to allow your brain to consolidate memories and recharge for the day ahead. Next, fuel your brain with the right nutrients. Just like a car needs the right fuel to run smoothly, your brain requires a steady supply of nutrients to function optimally. Opt for brain-boosting foods like blueberries, fatty fish, nuts, and dark chocolate. Hydration is also key. Even mild dehydration can lead to brain fog and fatigue. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water throughout the day to keep your brain hydrated and alert. Now let's talk about managing stress. Chronic stress is a major roadblock to learning. Find healthy ways to de-stress, whether it's through exercise, meditation, spending time in nature, or listening to calming music. Remember, taking care of your physical and emotional well-being is not selfish. It's an investment in your learning potential. When you feel good, your brain functions at its best, allowing you to absorb and retain information more effectively. Think about it this way. Your brain is like a high-performance engine. If you constantly run it on low-quality fuel, neglect regular maintenance, and subject it to excessive stress, it's not going to perform at its peak. But if you fuel it with premium nutrients, give it adequate rest and care, and create a positive and supportive environment, your brain will reward you with enhanced focus, creativity, and learning capacity. So, make self-care a non-negotiable part of your learning routine. Prioritize sleep, nourish your body, manage stress, and watch your learning soar to new heights. We're now moving into one of my favorite parts of the FASTER method: teach. You might be thinking, teach? But I'm the one trying to learn, and that's exactly the point. When you teach what you're learning, you unlock a powerful feedback loop that cements knowledge and deepens your understanding. Think about it. Have you ever noticed that after explaining a concept to someone else, you suddenly understand it better yourself? That's because teaching forces you to organize the information in a clear and concise way, which strengthens the neural connections in your brain. But here's the best part. You don't need to become a professor or give a formal lecture to reap the benefits of teaching. You can simply explain what you're learning to a friend, family member, or even your pet. The act of articulating the information out loud, even if it's just to yourself, can work wonders for your retention. Another powerful way to implement teach is by writing about what you're learning. Start a blog, create social media posts, or simply jot down summaries in your own words. Writing forces you to synthesize and articulate your thoughts, which deepens your understanding and helps you retain the information longer. And remember, teaching doesn't have to be a one-way street. Encourage the person you're teaching to ask questions, challenge your assumptions, and share their own insights. This back-and-forth dialogue can lead to deeper learning and new perspectives for everyone involved. The key takeaway here is this: the act of teaching, even if it's informal, transforms you from a passive recipient of information into an active creator of knowledge. It's like taking a mental snapshot of what you've learned, and then developing that picture into a vivid and lasting memory. Think about it this way. Imagine you're trying to learn a new language. You could spend hours memorizing vocabulary lists and grammar rules, but the real learning happens when you start using the language in conversations. The same principle applies to any type of learning. When you teach what you're learning, You're essentially putting your knowledge into practice, which helps solidify it in your long-term memory. So, share your newfound knowledge with the world, even if it's just with one other person. You'll be amazed by how much you learn in the process. Remember, knowledge is not meant to be hoarded, it's meant to be shared. So, embrace the power of teaching and watch your learning soar to new heights. We're nearing the end of our journey through the FASTER method, and now it's time to talk about ENTER, scheduling your learning time to ensure it gets done. Think of it as setting the stage for success. Just like an athlete performs best with a well-planned training schedule, your brain thrives when you allocate specific times for learning. The first step is to minimize distractions during your scheduled learning time. We live in a world saturated with information, and our brains are constantly bombarded with notifications, alerts, and updates. This constant barrage of distractions can significantly impair our focus and concentration. Find a quiet time where you can truly concentrate. This might be early in the morning, late at night, or during a quiet afternoon. The key is to choose a time when you can minimize external distractions and create a sense of mental stillness. Next, pay attention to the consistency of your schedule. Ensure you have a regular routine to avoid procrastination. Consistency is key, but flexibility is also important. Adjust your schedule as needed to accommodate changes in your routine. Find a balance that works for you. Now let's talk about prioritizing your learning sessions. Treat your learning time as a non-negotiable appointment. Block out this time in your calendar and protect it from other commitments. But here's the thing, scheduling your learning time goes beyond just marking it on a calendar. It's also about creating a positive and supportive mental space during these sessions. This means minimizing negative self-talk, managing stress, and cultivating a growth mindset. Remember, your scheduled learning time is a reflection of your commitment to growth. So create a schedule that's both realistic and motivating, and watch your productivity and retention soar. Think about it this way. Imagine you're a musician about to perform a concert. You wouldn't choose to play in a noisy, chaotic environment with poor acoustics, would you? You'd want a stage that's quiet, well-lit, and acoustically sound to showcase your talent. The same goes for your learning schedule. By creating a schedule that's free from distractions, consistent, and mentally stimulating, you're setting the stage for optimal learning and retention. So, take the time to create your ideal learning schedule and watch your brain thrive. Remember, your schedule plays a crucial role in shaping your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. So, create a learning schedule that inspires you, supports you, and empowers you to reach your full learning potential. Congratulations, you've now unlocked the secrets of the FASTER method. Remember, this isn't just about memorizing information, it's about unlocking your full learning potential and using it to achieve your goals and make a positive impact on the world. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments which part of the FASTER method you're excited to try. Don't forget to share this video with your friends and help them learn faster too. Together, we can create a world where learning is not a chore, but a joyful and empowering experience for everyone. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep unlocking your extraordinary potential.